So, now that we got part 1 on the books, we can move on to part 2, provisions. If you want to hang on to this newfound territory, you're going to need to convince a nearby settlement to start handing over shipments of supplies. I'll make sure those shipments get distributed direct to the outpost. Any caps they provide will be waiting in your trunk up in Fizztop. And the more a settlement produces for itself, the more of each we can get them to cough up. Now, like before, the method's up to you. You can try talking to them yourself, convince them to hand over the goods, or you and a crew can introduce some bullets to some kneecaps.
Why stop at kneecaps?
Are there any details I should know about these methods?
Well, these jobs run pretty similar to those for claiming territory. Using force will give you more places you can target. Plus, settlers can't just blow you off. You try scaring them into paying up without laying some groundwork first, it could end up being a costly endeavor. Now, any thoughts on how you want to do this?
Let me talk to them. I'll get them to hand over what we need.
Sure. So, which crew you want keeping an eye on the place once you get them to bend the knee?
The operators.
I'll send word along. Then all that's left is the target. Only wrinkle is that it's got to be near our crew's new outpost. No settlement's just gonna hand over goods if there's no one close by to follow up on threats. And if you ever want to see for yourself which settlements are within range of our outpost, you can check the map in your Pip-Boy. Joint called Nordhagen Beach, I think, is close enough to work. Could be a good target, though I'd need to check my notes, of course. So, where do you want to hit? Huh. Was that? Yup, that place'll do. So, to get these settlers to cough up provisions, they need to know that we aren't a crew to be trifled with. You can try convincing them to pay up, or you could rough them up some. Let them know we mean business. Tools from the operators could also make your life easier. Plus, having an outpost nearby gives us another option: claiming the airwaves. Building a Nuka World radio transmitter at an outpost within range of the target will let them know we're closing in on them. Your Pip-Boy map should show you which outposts are close enough to serve. And if none of that works, well, I suppose you could always try paying one of them to convince the rest. But you got options. Good luck.
Hey.
Hey, you want to tell me what you're doing here?
You ever heard of Nuka World?
The theme park with all the raiders? Sure. Why?
I'm here to make you an offer. This place will supply me and my friends in Nuka World caps, food, whatever you got. In exchange, we won't bother you.
Oh, I don't know. A lot of hard work goes into this place. Can't just give it to you.
Listen, you're gonna start working for me now, alright? Just keep the supplies coming and we won't have any problems.
Fine. If it'll get you off my back. Now please, get the hell out of here.
Hey, boss, can I ask you something?
Sounds like they're gonna tear the place apart if we don't get the hell out of there.
Then I guess we'll just have to let them know who they're dealing with. You did good. Now get going. The adults are gonna discuss this. Figure this would happen sooner or later. Our outposts caught the attention of some of our new neighbors in the Commonwealth. An outside crew of raiders think we're honing in on their territory. Sounds like they're planning to tear the place up, and our people with it. Suppose this provides us a good opportunity to make an example. You thinking what I'm thinking?
Mayhem and destruction is what I'm thinking. For what it's worth.
What can you tell me about this gang?
Not a whole lot. Our scout said the boss calls himself Sinner. Claims to have a decent-sized crew ready to take what we stole fair and square. Suppose he just needs to learn who his betters are. So, are you and I of the same mind on how that ought to get done?
I want to try talking to them.
So that's a no then. Look, boss. Your clout may get you what you want around here, but that doesn't earn you a thing with raiders in the Commonwealth. All those mutts understand is force, and I think it's time you and them came to just such an understanding. But you should probably get going. You wouldn't want to keep our new friends waiting. Wouldn't be neighborly.
Doc Weathers is guaranteed to patch up any bruises, holes, and diseases you've picked up. But I ain't got no fix for personality.
Are you really a doctor?
Am I a doctor? Let me show you my degree from the School of Saving Wise Asses like you. I'm a positive institution in these parts, so you need help or what?
Are you really a doctor?
You want news? Want me to rub your feet at the same time? I only got time for one thing. Making caps. Oh, and, you know, helping people.
Never mind. We're done.
On your way, then.
Doc.
Dangerous world out there. Good thing, too. Otherwise, no business for docs, am I right?
Not right now.
Fine.
Hey.
Good, you're here. Got word those punks were spotted not far from here, boss. Whole place is on alert. We'll keep an eye out.
Let him try and take this place.
Who's in charge around here? I'll tear their heart out. I want the head of whoever's running this shit show brought to me on a plate. You, the Nuka World waste pile that thought you could move your gang into Sinner's territory and live? You give me one good reason I shouldn't slice you open and eat your heart right here.
Look, I'm sure there's a solution that helps us all here. Let's figure something out.
To hell with that. We got enough trouble from the other gangs around here, poaching our scores. Ain't no room for another crew. Now explain to me why I shouldn't just gut you.
Sinner, it doesn't have to be like this. We can be stronger together than we ever were apart. Join my gang.
Are you fucking kidding me? I will wear your bones. Kill them!
Finders keepers, am I right?
Heard some rumbles this one didn't get you either. Figure I shouldn't be surprised.
So, what's next?
Well, right to business then. So I suppose your recent success brings us to the next step. Loyalty. Without loyalty, everything that's yours ain't. And to keep a crew loyal, you need to keep them happy. Now, keeping raiders happy isn't real hard. Just have to make sure they've got their basic necessities, just like any other settlement. That they've got some things to keep them entertained, and that their food's taken care of, which, with raiders, well, isn't like dealing with other settlements. Now, if you want me to go into detail on any of that, you just say.
What can you tell me about entertainment for the outpost?
Well, it's a damn handy way to keep folks distracted if you're lacking in certain basics. Constructing pick-me-up stations or getting one of your crew working on a booze still will certainly help lift your outpost's spirits. And if the place has got a Nuka World transmitter powered up, you can construct amplifiers to help as well. Anything else I can answer for you?
Tell me more about providing food for the outpost.
So, managing your outpost's food can get a little tricky. No one ever joined a crew to dig in the dirt, so you'll want to make sure you've convinced enough settlements to supply your gang. People at the outpost can farm in a pinch, but they sure as hell won't be happy about it. Now, if you're ever wondering if your outpost has enough food, you should take a look in your Pip-Boy. It ought to have a page that'll show you everything your outpost currently needs, food included. If they're low on grub, it's probably time to get a new settlement supplying you. Or you could always drop some food direct in their workshop if it comes to it. Now, was there something else?
I want to know more about managing the outpost's basic necessities.
Day-to-day needs. They're pretty straightforward. Just need to make sure you've set up solid defenses. Plenty of beds under cover, and enough clean water to go around. Not much more to it than that. Was there anything else?
I think I've got everything I need to know.
Sure. If you've ever got more questions, you come find me. Or you can always consult that Pip-Boy on your arm. No better tool to tell you what your outpost may be hurting for. Now, depending on the state of the place when you hit it, this first outpost might already have some of the bare bones set up. All you've got to do is build up what's missing. If you want to run some jobs to convince more settlements to start sending supplies, well, you know how this works. You just come talk to me. And I was thinking, with the outpost coming as far as it has, might be time I set up shop there. Save you a trip anytime you want to run a job. You just let me know if that's something that'd interest you. Be good to make some trouble in the Commonwealth again. So, there anything I can do?
Answer some questions for me.
Shoot.
Is there anything our outpost needs at the moment?
Improved defenses is the word going around at the moment. Couple more turrets or guard posts ought to do it. Was there anything else?
What do I need to take into account when intimidating settlements?
Well, the bigger and more fortified your target is, the more work you're gonna have to do to get them to crack. But using tools from the operators, building a Nuka World transmitter within range of the settlement you're trying to target, they'll make it easier. Plus, the more outposts you've got nearby your target, the more interested they'll be in what you've got to say. So, was there something else?
Remind me, what's the best way to keep outposts happy?
Well, you want to make sure they've got all the necessities. Defenses, beds, water, and food. Ideally, coming in from a settlement you've convinced to hand over supplies. But you can always drop some direct in their workshop if need be. Beyond that, you could build them some entertainment. A booze still, pick-me-up station. An amplifier if you've got a Nuka World transmitter set up. And if you're wondering what they're lacking, best thing to do is check your Pip-Boy. It's got a page with all the information you could need on what your outpost might want. I'm also willing to share whatever I hear. And lastly, don't make them farm. Lose a lot of goodwill from your gangs by making them pick fruit. You had any other questions?
That was it.
Got it. Something else I could do for you?
I'm interested in running a job.
You got it. Just need the details. What job you looking to run?
Let me think about it.
I'm in no hurry.